everyone sort of comments on the name in terms of it's a strange name. And I was like, yeah, it is a strange name, but it was actually my daughter's nickname when she was born, Magoo. So the business was all about her, really.
On this episode of Spill the Tea with LLIB, we have the incredible Jenny Lyons.
So, can you share with our listeners a little bit more about your business and the unique aspects that set it apart?
Yes, so I run Mini Magoos Sensory Play. It was established in 2017, so exactly around about 9 months after my little girl was born. And it is a sensory play business for babies, toddlers and preschoolers. But it's sensory play with a bit of a twist. So it isn't your average baby class. We are not your average baby class. We are anything but. So if you don't want a glass of Prosecco after coming out of one of our classes, then we haven't done our job right.
Do you provide Prosecco in the class?
We have done in the past at some of the specials. But if you want to go to the pub afterwards, there's absolutely no judgment. But we do like different themes. We don't just use nursery rhymes. We use like baby rave. So loads of 90s dance classics. We've got one coming up this summer called Rock Stars, which is, as you can imagine, full of rock music. We've got Straight Outta Magoos, which is a version of Straight Outta Compton. So yeah, it is not your average baby class, but you've still got loads of sort of developmental aspects for those little ones, but interspersed with loads of regular music, which obviously helps with lots and lots of development. And we have a really big, strong community aspect.
Amazing.
Within all of that as well.
Oh, it sounds incredible.
It's just what you were missing on maternity leave.
Yeah, so something for you as well as your baby.
Because why did baby classes only ever have to be about the baby? It's, an experience for the whole family. We want the whole family to come. So not only do we want that mum to come, we want the dads to come and have a great time. We want the grandparents to come and go, we didn't have nothing like this. It's about capturing all of that imagination as well. So yeah, we love it. There's loads of costumes. It's very, very colourful. Loads of music, and it just puts a massive smile on everybody's face.
Amazing. So 9 months old. So what inspired you to
well, as you can imagine,
9 months old?
Yeah, to open a business with a 9-month-old. Yeah, it sounds, if I'd had my time again, I probably would have thought about it a little bit more. Yeah. But I was so passionate about the idea that I had. It was something that I just couldn't let go. So obviously it's sort of, because my background before that, when I was on maternity leave, I was in corporate. So I was a recruitment consultant at the time. But my degree is actually in drama. And I was never fulfilled within recruitment. It just wasn't.
Although there is a lot of drama, isn't there?
There is a lot of drama, yeah, there is. So that came in handy, but it wasn't something that filled me cup. It just didn't. It just didn't work with my mental health. It didn't make me happy. There was loads of things that it just wasn't right for me. And then when I was on maternity leave, I obviously wanted to go back to a job that I really wanted to go to, that was justifiable enough to leave my little one, if that makes sense. And I know that's a 100%. Lot of reasons why we saw a business as well, sort of on the back of that maternity leave, because of all the flexible childcare and all of that type of stuff. But yeah, the justifiable reason for leaving my child is I want to be happy in my job. I want to be really happy, and I want it to be really worth it, because if I'm going to put her in the care of someone else, then I want to make sure that it is absolutely worth it, 100%. So, but anyway, when I was on maternity leave, we had moved to Wirral a couple of years before, but we were both working in separate cities. So my husband was working in Chester, I was working in Liverpool, and it was a base for us. We didn't spend an awful lot of time there. Neither of us were from there. We didn't really know anybody there. We didn't have that sense of community. So when I got onto maternity leave, my closest friend with a baby was in Preston. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know anyone. What am I going to do for like 9 months on my own? So I was going to all these baby classes and, all the nursery rhymes and things like that. And they're all lovely and stuff. And then you don't really get to chat to anybody So it was really hard to make those friends because you're in the class, you're out, you're in the class, you're out. And I was like, oh, I'm not really talking to anyone. And that's what really inspired me. I was like, I need that community feel within a class. So Mini Magoos was born. And everyone sort of comments on the name in terms of it's a strange name. And I was like, yeah, it is a strange name, but it was actually my daughter's nickname when she was born, Magoo. So the business was sort of all about her, really, and
it's
sort
crazy.
of our journey.
My beautiful new beginnings was Gracie was 3 months old when I began that business as well. So I totally get the starting a business on mat leave and the craziness that comes with that. And her middle name is Faye, and that means beautiful new beginning. And she really was, our new beginning, and a new beginning and a new branch out into that business. And so I love the personal connection with you, the name, and that there's another crazy person out there who set up a business when their baby was like, because you've not got enough to do, have you? You've not got enough to do. So did your little one come to your classes and things?
She didn't, no. It's a full-on class. So no, she was sort of in the background, but she unfortunately has everything tested out on her.
At home, private one-to-ones.
Yeah, she is the guinea pig. So anything new, I was like, right, is this going to work?
Yeah.
So yeah, she was sort of the guinea pig, unfortunately.
Amazing.
So how's it all grown and evolved then from those early days?
Yeah, it has grown and evolved a lot. So yeah, and just surviving the pandemic was just a feat in itself, really, wasn't it, for everybody who was in business at that time, especially small businesses. So there's a lot I've learned over the past sort of 7 years being in business. And we've grown from class to class, and now I've started to open my franchise model as well. So we've got Mini Magoos Chester, and we've Chester and Ellesmere Port, and we've got Mini Magoos Cheshire West as well, which is incredible. And it's amazing that when I'm sort of flicking through Instagram and I go, I still get that sort of, oh, that's me, but it's not me. Oh, that's so strange. So it's still a really strange feeling. But setting up the franchise model has been a whirlwind in itself. As I said, going back to the pandemic, I actually started my franchise training, my franchisor training. I still get all the terminology wrong about who am I, what am I doing. Sort of within, I think, February of 2020, hoping to open my first franchise that year. Little did I know what was going to happen, but it actually gave me the time and the space to sort of work on that franchise model, which was really, really important, actually. And I feel like as my role is now beginning to change from being that class lead and becoming a leader for other people and those class leaders, I've really sort of honed that franchise package and honed what I feel a franchise should be, because within the children's activity and actually within the franchising industry, I don't know if you know, but there's not a lot of regulation.
No.
So basically you don't have to have had a profitable business before you open it up as a franchise, which is quite scary, really, because, you know, those people are putting their lives with you. You know, there's a massive responsibility that they are changing their life. They could be leaving other jobs. They're putting a massive amount of money in. It's not a small feat to become that franchisor. So it gave me the opportunity to work on that model, to have a little bit of a look at what I think a good franchisor should be, and to put together that package and to really sort of make sure that it's a sustainable one for them going forward as well.
Yeah. And I think that sort of industry is a particularly hard one, because there needs to be that continuous, unless your business model grows with that child and you can take that family through, age 7 to 12 you're consistently looking for new audience, aren't you?
Absolutely,
You've got a 9-month window where people are on mat leave and then almost they've gone, unless you can offer weekends or evenings and whatnot, or the offering changes. And so that bit of the business is really difficult, isn't it? And that some people have clients for life and they are their customer for life, and other people have businesses, and that child industry seems to be one of them where the turnover of people is quite regular.
Absolutely. So sort of like taking my class leader hat off and working with the babies and putting my business hat on, it was like to have those multiple income streams was really important because what I didn't want is I didn't want people to be able to build a mediocre business. I wanted them to build what I have. I've got that opportunity where I can work really flexible hours. I work term time. I work what I need to work. And I've also got the opportunity to build my business as big as I want it as well. So that's a really good point in terms of, we've got the baby classes, we've got the toddler classes, we've got the preschool classes. So we've actually got a newborn class as well, which we offer too. So those multiple income streams are all there for you to expand that business as you see fit. And so that business can grow with you. So if you're coming into it like we did at that crazy time, you can just start with one part of it and then you can move forward with the other sessions then as well. And, if you want to employ people, all of that type of stuff, there's the scope there to make it a really tangible, profitable business.
Amazing. I love it. And we do need incredible places for our new parents and our babies.
It's so important, isn't it? And I think, the pandemic actually really highlighted that in terms of how important we were to a massive industry in terms of how lonely those parents were feeling. And once that was taken away, I think you could really see.
That we weren't just a nice to have, like a luxury, that actually it's a real necessity to support mental health
100%.
and well-being, and that social isolation and that loneliness that people felt and continue to feel about that time. We have people that come now who've got children that were born in the pandemic and then second children. And they're like, God, you almost realise when you've had your second child how robbed you were of at that time. You knew it then, but now having all of those opportunities with that second child, they're almost having like a secondary grief that they didn't get to do that with their first children. And this child had so many more opportunities and that child just didn't.
You broke my heart a little bit then using the term secondary grief. I was like, God, I've never looked at it like that before, but I get parents saying that to me all the time. This is so different this time.
This is what it's supposed to be like.
Definitely.
And a lot of our children who didn't have access to all of those community groups and, their social, emotional development really, really struggled.
I think we're going to see
probably
that.
still struggling now, because how old will those children be?
They're all
just starting school. So I think,
5.
this is the year that we'll hugely see that
need. Yeah, 100%. So what do you find then most fulfilling about the work that you do then? What lights you up the most? Is it the rock music?
It's definitely, you can never be sad in that job. No matter what sort of day you're having, you run those classes and you come out of it and you think, wow, it's gone. Everything's gone, because I've just been sat in a room full of smiling babies and kids and waving at me, and from with the toddlers, they've all come and give me cuddles and high fives. And that is a great job to have. There is never a sad moment in that job. It is really good. And when you get that feedback from parents in terms of, you've really made my maternity leave and all of that type of stuff. So there's a big dopamine hit from running those classes. But one of the roles of where my role in the business is sort of evolving, I was trying to sort of figure out where I would now get that dopamine hit from, because that's a big part, and that's sort of, why you love your business, isn't it? So one of the ways in which I was like, right, okay, well, how do I want this franchise to look for people? So to really support pretty much women in business in terms of building that business and making them really, really confident in how they run their business. Basically having what I didn't have right at the start. So I'm just actually about to take my exam to become a certified business strategist.
Amazing.
So to help them sort of see those holes in their business, to become really confident. I think one of the things that I've really picked up on with the girls is imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is massive with women in business. One of those, what was that statistic? That whereas men will apply for a job when they only have 50% of the skills.
I think it's less. I think it's like 30% of the skill.
Whereas women will need to hit every box before we even think about applying. And imposter syndrome is absolutely massive, especially when it comes to like obviously promoting your business on social media, you know, all of that type of stuff. So I wanted to be that person that I didn't have, to lean on for support and to have all of the knowledge that I've gained over the past 7 years, because there's been many a mistake made, don't get me wrong. But to support them in not making those mistakes so they grow that business so much quicker. So that's been really fun. And watching them have those successes has been a massive, massive game changer. I'm like, okay, this is good. This is, I really like this now. That's so amazing. We've been running sort of training sessions on imposter syndrome, building business confidence. We're just going through the business boot camp, which we've actually got our last session of tonight, which we run sort of over Zoom if we can't manage to get together. And we've been over the past couple of weeks really delving into like things like money and all of those really hard to-dos that you sort of shy away from in business because you like doing the fluffy stuff. But actually this is what you've got to do to make that successful.
I think that's the difference, isn't it, between a business and a hobby? Like something you enjoy and something that you go to and something that you go, oh, that was just so lovely. And then actually the business side of how is this making money to pay my bills?
Exactly. Like, to and it's something we do tend to maybe shy away from a little bit because it's just not the nice to do.
No.
But
absolutely.
So we've been upskilling people in that has been amazing, and watching the successes turn around is the new dopamine.
So what's the future for Mini Magoos?
Oh well,
world domination.
Hope, maybe. You never know. We'll take that baby rave all across the world. But I'm hoping to obviously expand the franchises. That would be amazing to just see Mini. I think the mission is to have more parents feel like they have come into my classes. So now putting that in the hands of other people, for other parents to feel that right the way across, then that is sort of an amazing thing to feel, that just from that tiny little idea of when I was sort of sat on the couch cuddling a newborn, that this is what it's sort of brung to the world.
Do you find it hard giving like the power away in terms of the franchise? Like, do you just want to jump in and go, oh, you've done that wrong, or that social media post, or that ball should have been blue, or, you know, do you find I'm a control freak. You saying franchise, we've been asked to franchise leading ladies in the past, like up and down the country, which we'll possibly do in the future. But my inner control freak is just like, no, because say if this happens, or say if, like, you know, it's your brand, like it's your
exactly.
So how and did you experience?
It was a really strange feeling because it's my baby. It's my other baby type thing. So it was dead strange feeling at first. But actually watching those people grow has
helped.
It has really helped. Yeah, it has really helped. It's helped me in terms of that control thing, because I was 100% the same, and I can feel myself twitching. But yeah, it's helped me as I run a better business as well. And it's helped me to listen to the ideas of others as well, because I was so sort of on my own and so isolated in business in a way, really. So it's given me the sort of tools to say, right, okay, I can step back a little bit now. But also as well, the onboarding process for a franchise, if you know anything about it, as well, if you're doing it ethically and as thoroughly as probably what I tend to go through, you will see that person's the right person. Yeah. If that makes sense. So it's sort of about getting that right person in place rather than selling lots of franchises.
Yeah, 100%.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that onboarding process, we'll see, it'll tell you if that person's right and you've got that connection with that person. So you're rooting for them like you've never rooted before. It's like, I want to see that. I can't wait to see what they bring to it. It's going to be absolutely
so you get excited,
amazing.
Just as excited as they probably are.
Absolutely, yeah. Oh. So it is amazing, and that sort of overrides the control freak element, and it's got easier the more I've
I'll let you know how we get on.
So if you could be remembered for one thing, what would it be?
That was the easiest question, actually. It was the easiest question. It was just to make people smile. And to bring that happiness. The world's full of rubbish. It's full of rubbish. It's full of not very nice things. And actually a smile can change someone's day. It can change someone's life sometimes. And if I can be remembered for changing somebody's life just by bringing a smile, then what more can you want from that?
Yeah, that's saying, if you see someone without a smile, give them one of yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, love that. Oh, isn't that gorgeous?
Yeah, it is. It is dead simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. I was like, it's simple, but
it's so impactful. Like if you smile at somebody and give them one of your smiles, like they could be having that, you could just turn their day round.
Absolutely.
Like,
and
really
you don't know what's going on behind the scenes with that person.
And so sad. No. So if you could spill the tea with anyone, who would you choose and why?
Oh, this is the hardest one, actually. Only because the person who I thought of straight away was actually really easy. And I said to my husband, I was like, but it relates to nothing in my business. But he was like, but it relates to you. I was like, oh, all right then. So I run I'm a bit embarrassed to say, I don't know why. I run a gardening blog.
Why would you be embarrassed about a gardening
I don't know,
blog?
it's very strange. But they're like, you're into plants? I'm like, I'm a total plant geek.
Yeah, I love plants. Yeah,
you do love your plants.
Yeah. In fact, one of my Instagram posts just the other day was like me doing a little video of me pot plants after I'd had
there you go. You are my type of person.
At Primark that morning with the girls. The girls wanted to go to Primark for holiday clothes, and I was like, I need a bit of zen. So I went and planted 2 lavenders and some lovely like little bulbs that will bring me joy in the future.
Yeah. We just got some. We got a payment off a business as well, and a voluntary day for the business to come out to help one of our local parks as well. And we planted a lot of stuff, didn't we, on that day as well?
I love it.
So that was their social
bit of a
responsibility.
garden.
Yeah, it was beautiful, wasn't it?
So I am a complete plant geek. I've got an allotment.
Wow.
And I run an allotment sort of blog on Instagram. And so I was at Chelsea Flower Show for the press day a couple of months ago. So it was really, really cool. But anyway, so the person who I'd like to spill the tea with is a lady from America called Erin Benekazine, and she set up a flower farm in Washington State. Wow. And her Instagram is, I'm not gonna lie, it is to die for. Like, it is the most beautiful thing you could ever imagine. And if you love a coffee table book, especially about plants, those are the ones to get. And there's just like It's just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. But she runs this huge Instagram account now with over 1 million followers. Wow. And her business is like all about sort of seed saving, and she breeds her own flowers, and it looks absolutely amazing. But her business story is actually really incredible, and how she's built sort of this community. And it's a bit of a rags to riches story. Wow. She started with nothing, and they were really struggling as a family when they bought the farm, and how it's sort of grown. And she's got a television show as well, and if you watch it and the decisions she makes, sort of, she's like, can I go for profit or can I go for community? And I was like, oh my God.
She sounds amazing.
And she didn't go for the profit and went for this community element where she gave so much stock to people right across America.
Wow.
And they gained flowers from her farm, and now her flowers are all over America, and it built that community. And she'd probably seen that profit come back tenfold from that. But that decision at the time, when she's like, well, we can help out like tens of thousands of other flower farmers right across the country, or we can make more money. And
what a woman.
Oh God, she's incredible. Yeah, absolutely incredible. So not only because she grows beautiful flowers, but she's an incredible businesswoman as well. And her brand is amazing. And
she grows community. And I don't think there's anything more important than that, is there?
No.
You know, than being able to grow community.
Absolutely. And that's sort of that being one of my sort of core values and brand values is definitely, So I'd love to have a chat with her.
She sounds like a great woman. Can I come?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We'll go on a little trip to America and go around the flower farms. It'll be great.
Yeah, Claire, I'm taking some time off.
Notes how she didn't invite me because I'm awful with like plants and flowers.
I'm not great with them. I'm not great with them, but I just think that
I'll
they're
let you
just
into
so
a
calming.
secret. Nobody is.
No.
It's just the scale that you do it on. So my losses might be the same. I just grow more. So that sort of covers the balance.
Yeah. That makes me feel so much better.
Yeah, I'm only a pot person, mainly because the kids, because like the kids just, oh God, they just trash the grass and everything because they're still in the football playing stage and whatnot. And so, and I do get really cross.
That trashes the
we
grass
had a Labrador as well. We lost ours a couple of years ago, but she used to eat like everything. So
he
I am
does
only
not
a pot.
pop his leg on every plant that I plant in the garden.
Do you get really cross about it?
I do get really cross.
If that ball hits my pots, I get really cross as well. They have like 2 strikes and they're out. Then it's the football.
There's the basketball as well. We've got the basketball net, and so. I announced to my husband that we were getting an allotment. He's like, I love that. What?
Are we?
It's amazing.
Okay. Sounds like a good man. My husband would not let us have an allotment.
You just got to get it and tell him.
And then tell him.
It's all about the sell.
It's all about just doing it and then telling them, like, we have an allotment and it's going to bring our family together and the community together.
There you go.
And he'd be like, okay, what can he say? No, sell that allotment.
Yeah. I'll do that. I'll raise that with him.
I just hope Lee doesn't watch these episodes.
No, see, that's where you go wrong. Just do it.
You just do it. Just do it. Right, okay. If I have permission,
you do something else
do
right as well, don't you?
I hope she does do something else right, because at the moment, my type of person. I know.
Let's see.
Yeah, let's see. So on the show, we do have a closing tradition. It's very divisive, and it is all around the perfect cup of tea and how you personally would make that perfect cup of tea.
Yeah. So I've listened to the show quite a lot. We
love that.
Did you know the right answer?
I do. I know the answer. I try not to give it away to it. So I must say that I'm not going to go through the whole process, but if you let the milk touch the tea bag, you're a proper savage.
Okay. So I'm now being called a savage and feral on the show. Feral savage I am.
When we came in this morning, and I think you clocked me when you went, do you want a brew? And I was like, I nearly said, who's making it?
Did you? That was me. I did it all right. I did it like
my
Jenny.
It was a cracking brew, to be fair. Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah. Oh, well, do you know, none of our guests, I usually make the tea most of the time, and Cal entertains, and none of them complain, and then sit there on the couch and go, I make my tea. I don't let my nuts touch my tea bag. But they all drink it. Yeah. And I think I've got a bit of a confession. The tea you nicely drank last night was made that way as well. And you looked like you really enjoyed it.
I was desperate. I've been out in the wilderness all day doing forest school first aid. I was desperate. It was wet and warm.
There you go. You hugged that cup. You drank that tea.
I did. Well, send me the dates for America because
Absolutely.
I'm all in. And now we can choose our tea on the way and it'll just be marvelous.
We'll have to take our own tea bags to America.
Honestly, yeah.
Definitely. Well, you've been an amazing, even though you don't make your tea the right way, you've been an amazing guest, and thank you so much for sharing your journey with us, Jenny.
Thank you. Good luck.
Yeah. Yay.
It'll be world domination for you. It will. It will.